Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving headfirst into a real mystery, looking at ancient structures that just, well, they shouldn't exist. We're talking about massive multi-ton stones that are fitted together with the precision of a Swiss watch, all built by cultures thousands of years before we thought this was remotely possible. These aren't just old ruins, they're genuine engineering marvels that make you question everything you thought you knew about our past. All right, let's get into it. So this is the big question, right? It's the puzzle at the heart of all this. The history books, they tell one story, a story of our ancestors using simple tools and having, pretty limited knowledge. But the stones themselves, they tell a completely different story. It's like they're whispering about some kind of forgotten technology or a lost science. So you have to ask, how on earth did they pull it off? And this slide just lays the problem out perfectly. See, on one side, you've got the official toolkit of the ancient world. Bronze chisels, stone pounders, basic levers, simple, limited stuff. But then you look at what they made with them. We're talking about huge 100-ton blocks locked together with millimeter precision, finishes so smooth they look like they came out of a modern factory. The math just doesn't add up. It's a huge disconnect. Okay, so the first place this whole thing just completely breaks down is the sheer scale of it all. I mean, we're not talking about just moving some big rocks around. We're talking about blocks of stone so unbelievably heavy that even our most powerful modern cranes would have a really tough time with them. So just to give you some perspective, let's talk about the Romans. I mean, these guys were without a doubt some of the greatest engineers in history. Their absolute best, most powerful cranes could lift about 60 tons. That's an incredible achievement for the time. Now, I want you to burn that number into your brain. 60 tons. Now, look at this. This is at a site called Baalbek in Lebanon. It's a Roman temple, but it's sitting on a foundation made of stones that weigh up to 1,000 tons. 1,000! No, that's not a typo. That is more than 15 times what the best Roman cranes could lift. So if the Romans couldn't have put those stones there, who did? And it just gets crazier when you look at the details. It's not just one giant block, it's a whole series of them, and they're fitted together with mind-blowing precision. The quarry is almost a kilometer away. And get this, nearby, there's an unfinished monster of a block that weighs a staggering 1,650 tons. And here's the kicker. There's absolutely no trace of a road or a ramp that could have handled these unimaginable weights. And this kind of thing wasn't a one-off. You go over to 15th century China, and the powerful Yongle Emperor commissions this massive monument that would have weighed over 16,000 tons. The builders actually quarried the stone, but then they just had to abandon it. Why? Because even with all the incredible power of the Ming Dynasty, they were defeated by a single piece of rock they realized was physically impossible to move. But let's just say for a second you could somehow move these massive stones. That still doesn't explain how they were shaped. The mystery of the scale is incredible, for sure, but it's matched by an even deeper and maybe even more baffling mystery of precision. This quote about the fortress of Sacsayhuaman in Peru, it just says it all. We're talking about these huge, irregularly shaped stones, some over 100 tons, all fitted together with no mortar at all. And they're so perfect that you literally cannot slip a piece of paper, let alone a razor blade, between them. This isn't just stacking rocks. This is some kind of advanced megalithic 3D puzzle. And you see this impossible level of precision all over the world. You go to Pumapunku in Bolivia, and you find this super hard andesite stone cut with perfect, machine-like right angles and grooves. Then you go deep under the sands of Egypt to the Serapeum. Down there, you find 24 granite boxes, each weighing 80 tons, and their interiors are polished to a mirror finish. That would be incredibly hard to do today on granite, even with our modern power tools. So the key thing here is the pattern. It's everywhere. At Pumapunku, you've got these H blocks that look like they were mass-produced in a factory. The lids on those Serapeum boxes, they fit so perfectly a modern feeler gauge can't get in between. Even inside the Great Pyramid, the core blocks that were never even meant to be seen showed the exact same level of precision as the famous outer stones. This wasn't just amazing craftsmanship, this was some kind of technology we just can't explain. So we've got impossible scale and impossible precision, but there's a third layer to this whole mystery: logistics. I mean, just building any one of these sites would require unbelievable planning and resource management. But some of these projects were done by cultures that supposedly shouldn't have had either. Just take a look at this timeline for Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. This incredible complex of massive carved pillars was built around 9,600 BCE. That is 6,000 years before Stonehenge. And it was built by people we call hunter-gatherers, thousands of years before pottery was invented, before writing, before there were even settled villages in the area. So how did a society of nomads organize a workforce to quarry, carve, and set up hundreds of these giant pillars? It's baffling. Or think about the journey of just one stone at Ollantaytambo in Peru. To build this place, they quarried 70-ton blocks from the top of a mountain. Then they had to somehow get them down a super steep slope, move them across a valley, get them over a powerful river, and then somehow haul them up onto the high fortress terraces on the other side. Every single step of that journey is a nearly impossible engineering problem. And sometimes the real mystery isn't what's there, but what's missing. In Cappadocia, Turkey, ancient people carved entire cities deep underground, going down over 60 meters. These cities had everything: ventilation shafts, stables, kitchens, you name it. But here's the puzzle. Where did all the rock go? We're talking millions of cubic feet of excavated rock. Archaeologists can't find any big spoil heaps or dumps nearby. It's like it just vanished. It's a total logistical black hole. So when you start putting all of these pieces together, the impossible scale, the uncanny precision, the unbelievable logistics, you're left with a picture of our past that feels profoundly incomplete. It's like we're looking at a finished building, a masterpiece, but we've never seen the blueprint. So let's just pull this all together. We've seen a pattern all over the globe of ancient engineering that just defies any easy explanation. We're left with impossible scale, moving blocks that just should not have been movable. We are confronted with this uncanny precision, making cuts and finishes that seem to require some kind of lost technology. And we're totally baffled by unbelievable logistics, with hunter-gatherers organizing projects on a scale that would rival a modern construction company. And here's the thing, these sites aren't just historical curiosities. They're data points, and they're data points that absolutely shatter our neat little timeline of human development. They hint at a level of knowledge and ability in our deep past that has somehow been completely lost. And that leaves us all with one final profound question. What giant chapter of human history remains unread?